watching Tone Gnome.
Hello everyone. So today we're going to go over the VWM Imperia. VWM, Vape Ware Mods. They're made in Greece by a man named Costas. This actually is not in production anymore. It was made for $270 RRP. That's just the RTA itself. I got this a couple of years ago from Ryan. He gave me a very nice deal on it. Gave me a bit of a friend deal. Came with this box which housed the RTA, this one which had accessories in it, and this is actually what the dope comes in, the RBA version. You notice this theme with them, this kind of rounded styling. You know, the RTA has it itself, the RBA, and even the strip tip. So anyhow, so yeah, this is the dope box. Anyhow, prior to the Imperia, we had this. This is the Integra, also by Vape Ware Mods. Similar build decks in these. The funny thing about, sorry, I'll just show you on the Imperia itself. I'm probably gonna be jumping all around in this video, but so be it. So here's the Imperia deck. Now that is not the stock airflow pin that it comes with. It has these discs on the side. Now I'll start by saying this is my favorite RTA of all time. These discs here, you can change these out. And this disc actually has several holes for each slot that you spin around. So here, let me see if I can get even tighter focus. I'm going the wrong way. Nope. Alright. I'm not sure if you could tell, but these are actually numbered. And with your fingernail, you turn this. And you'll hear it click. And then it'll go to the next number. So right now it's reading 1.8. There's 2.6. Can be hard to spin at times. 1.1. 1.6. 2.2. So it's relatively RDL and MTL. There's a 0.9. So anyhow, you could just rotate these and get to the airflow you want. That's the only other way that's the only way to adjust the airflow. I love that VWM always does Phillips head screws. I just find they're the best screws to work with. And if you look at this channel, so this is actually the wicking port right here. And when you put the tank on, it kind of completes the circle for the port. So you'd fill your cotton all the way up to this edge and have it a little bit higher, a little fluffed up to cover that circle. Because right now it's only, you know, a half circle. If you notice, there's not much distance going on here. So you actually have really short wicks. And I find that helps with creating very fast, efficient wicking. Thing wicks very nicely. You can't fit the biggest coil in here, but other than that, I mean, it has great tolerances. So, you know, just, whoops, I'm holding, alright, this is the other thing. I would like to compare these two. Because the one in my left hand is the authentic. The one in my right hand is actually the clone. If you look at the bases, you'll see this is like 1765. This is 677. They are strikingly close, the clone and the authentic. One of the main ways to tell the difference, aside from like serial numbers and stuff, is the the engraving of the logo is wider. The lines are wider on the clone than the authentic. I thought that was interesting. Otherwise, they're strikingly similar. So I often find that a lot of the best tanks have a very similar wicking style. They'll have 3 ports, 3 holes. So here's the Imperia. This has 3 holes. I mean, you could vape it differently, but it has 3 holes. The Skila also has 3 holes. I mean, it has a variety of options when you spin it around, but ideally you'd have like 3 open. And this will have 3 open on each side, or you can close it down. This is a very interesting RTA, the Skila. The HAR, very similar that way, and they're all 22 millimeter high-end RTAs. You could do the HAR like that, or on both sides, or you can have 3 holes, single side. I can't even spin this right now behind the camera. Holy shoot. Anyhow, the HAR and the Imperia have a similarity in that they open up the same way. You unscrew the base ring, and you, pull out the deck. So see how small that deck is too? This is the Integra deck, and the reason I'm showing you this is to show you how the wicking ports are similar. Short wicks you'd have in here, and look, it's just like a half circle, just like the Imperia. So yeah. Now this this Integra is also a clone. This is all my clones for VWM or SXK. But yeah. So what did my legitimate Imperia come with? Well, it came with a ton of extras, and most of them I don't have anymore. So here's like your mid-grade, or no, is this a shorty chimney? I can't even see from behind here. I think this is your mid-size chimney here. It came with a tall tank, 7 milliliter tank. This is my favorite styling, like the half stainless tank. It also had a nano kit with it, really short, like 2 milliliter. This is how the juice flow port opens and closes. That easy. You just turn it. And you always know if it's open or not because you can clearly see it. Smooth action on it. So this is definitely what I consider the nicest RTA ever done. Top cap. Even though there's no knurling or nothing to grab, I never have a hard time getting it off. You know, dead easy to fill. It's just a very convenient yet intricate and like well made RTA. I mean, I just love the wheel system. It could seem gimmicky, but it just works. It works so well, and I especially love it with the three airflow ports. You know, that way you have 3 holes for the air intake. This on this side and directly under the coil. It just makes it for like the smoothest, you know, most flavorful airflow in my opinion. The Imperia also came with the authentic one anyway. Like here's your mid-size glass, 5 milliliter glass. It also, excuse me, it also came with a beauty ring. That's very nice. If I can, it's upside down. Oh no, I have 2 of them in my hand. Here it is. That's the beauty ring it came with. So it's just a pretty RTA. That's the bottom line. This thing is aesthetically very pleasing. You'll notice also the similarities, like the reason I have the U-Mod Unific out here is because they're sister companies, which I didn't know originally. You know, they're both in Greece. This is Greg's mod. But Costas designed the tank for the Unific. The Uni tank, there's 2 versions of it. This is the original version, which personally I didn't feel worked very well, but you could put your Boro Bridge RBAs in here, and you'll see similar design because they're both designed by Costas. This is number 97. You know, same kind of serial engraving. That's kind of a giveaway. But yeah, I just had to show this off. I wanted to do more comparisons on this and the clone, but there's really not much to point out because honestly, it's pretty hard to tell the difference. The main difference is really the quality in metal. If you ever have to worry if you have a clone, just really compare the metals. It probably won't show up on the, where's the other one? I don't even know where the other one went. Oh, here it is. It probably won't show up on the camera, but in person you'll be able to tell the difference. I mean, legit high quality metals, they're just going to be a lot more polished. They'll scratch easier. You know, Chinese metals, stainless, it just looks a little more matte, and or it could look extremely shiny. But you'll never see like fine scratches in clones. They're usually just too perfect looking. Whereas the authentics, they're really pretty, nice quality metal, but it also will have imperfections that you probably won't see on the clones. So on the left you have the clone, on the right you have the authentic. I mean, they're both pretty nice looking, you know, I have to admit. So, let's look at the 510 pins, see how different they are. Looking pretty similar though, all around, even the pin. So, one thing about the Imperia, this is why Jay's didn't like this RTA, you have to know how to take it off and on. It's not as cut and dry as you'd think, but a lot of our RTAs are like this, these screw-off ones. It's not like directly on like that, it's on at an angle, so you have to put it on still slightly closed, like, and when you take it off, you have to start pulling as it's about to open. Actually right before it opens. You know. So there's like this fine point in there when you need to start pulling to open this up. Jeez, I'm not making it look too easy. You won't be opening it while looking through a camera though, so you know. So you see how the tank is what finishes the half circle? You know. Hear that click? I mean, this is just very nicely made, very well machined. Love the engraving. It's just got the right amount of style, but subtlety. It's very elegant kind of a vibe I get from it. You know, and this is just one of many of my favorite type RTAs. You know, the skyline is also extremely classy looking. This is my clone skyline. I actually have, I think the authentic is across the room right now. Sorry. I'm doing this kind of out of nowhere. The Har, you know, love the Har. Love the Skila. I feel like this goes, is very underrated. Goes very under the radar because it's Vicious Ant, and Vicious Ant kind of has a stigma, but this is a very nicely done RTA. Here's the Tripod V2. Also love that. What else do I got here? Here's the Golden Greek Casperdina. So this is a newer RTA. Look how shiny it is. He polishes the hell out of these, and they're just beautiful. These work very good too. For the newer RDAs, because this came out in like 2019, I think. This is pretty old, the Imperia, but this came out just last year. And for newer stuff, this and the Tripod V2, probably the best. I haven't had the Air, but it's basically a Tripod V2 with vertical or gravity fed wicking. So But yeah, that's the good old Imperia. If you can find one for, I don't know, $300 or less, that's a great deal, I think. You know, I bought this for like $350, and I'm actually, in a way, I made money off of it because I sold the accessories, most of the accessories separately, actually. You know, I'm just gonna throw in these. You know, you have an MTL wheel and a DL wheel, and then that 3-hold one I have, that's actually a clone piece. That's why it's in the clone. But that's my favorite wheel for it. So yeah, just a beautiful RTA. Had to show it off a little bit. I did a live video with it where we wicked it, but I didn't really give it much close-up attention. Looks like there's still some juice in there. But yeah, Imperia, #1 RTA of all time. Ryan has a video on it. I think Mark Todd has one. Jay Hayes has one. He did not like it for some silly reason, but yeah, definitely check these out if you haven't. They're hard to find though, very hard to find. I think there originally was 800 of them, and then they went up to like 1,200 or 1,600, something like that. The dope is kind of the same way. There was like 800, and then they made like 1,200 or 1,600 altogether. So not too many of these floating around. Same with the Integra. So it came with a similar authenticity code like the dope did. It's just a little card. Nothing too flashy. Here's the airflow hole for the DL disc. You see how it works? Oh god, it's so hard to spin through camera, but you get the idea. Yep. Vape Ware Mods. I'll see you.